Welcome to Basement Movie Room. We're back with our discussion of The Mandalorian Season 3, Episode 5, which is entitled The Pirate. So, this is a decently long episode, not too bad. So this episode kind of focuses back onto Navarro and a pirate invasion on Navarro. But as usual, we're going to start out, what did you think of the episode?
I really enjoyed this episode. Of course, we get a lot of good nuggets in this one that keep going back to Rebels, which I love, and I'm loving this whole timeline. And I think they keep doing a great job.
Yeah. So, there's no complaints from me on this episode. I thought it was a really good episode. It's more world building. I feel like this season is all about world building, and it's not moving the plot along a lot with each episode, but each episode kind of ends with a nice little plot movement, essentially, and kind of something that to make things go forward. So we'll get right into the episode. So the episode opens back on Navarro. Like I said, this is a Navarro-focused episode for the most part. And we got Grief Karga discussing with his advisors about things they're going to do on Navarro and in the city. I guess the city is Navarro. I don't think the rest of the planet's really that occupied. I think it's basically just Navarro is the city, essentially. But the planet is Navarro.
Like half of it's like lava.
It's like lava flows. Yeah, they even say, let's go out to the lava flows this time. So we open up, and a pirate corsair flies down into above Navarro, and Grief Karga sees the pirate ship out of his window, and then the robot comes in and is like, "Oh, there's pirates!" Yeah. and the robot's like, "Should we, hail them?" And he's like, "No, I don't want to set a bad example. I don't want to give them the thought that we're going to be, negotiate with pirates, because they'll just keep, blackmailing us, essentially, or extorting us to keep grabbing money, and it will make things hard on us." So, of course, this is Gorian Shard, the Pirate King, who we saw earlier in the season. What was that like? That was like episode 1, wasn't it? It was like
one or two.
Well, yeah, it was an early episode in the season, a few episodes ago at least. And Gorian Shard comes in and says, he's going to take Navarro, and that there's really nothing they can do about it, essentially. And of course, Grief Karga says, well, we're protected by the Empire, and they make rounds through this area and all this stuff. And Shan or Shard or whatever his name is, he knows he's bluffing. He knows that they're an independent planet. He says, this shows as an independent planet. You're not protected by the Empire, so I'm just going to take your planet, and immediately just starts open fire on all of Navarro. And you see everybody running, and Grief Karga says they need to abandon Navarro and to, get the people out of Navarro. And then like 35 people leave Navarro. It's like, it's not a very populated city, apparently. But in any case...
He just took his advisors with him.
Yeah, that's all it seems like. And his house staff. Yeah. His maids.
Yeah, the ones that matter to him.
So they all are leaving Navarro, and he sends a message out through his droid to Carson Teva, who is, we've met him. He's the Asian Republic X-Wing pilot. We've seen him multiple occasions. He's been in multiple episodes, including the episode where Mando crash-landed the Razor Crest on the ice planet, running away from him, essentially. With Dave Filoni was the other pilot.
Yeah, that's right.
That one.
Yeah. Basically saved Mando's life.
Yeah, he did, and he let him go. Yeah. He let him go. So that kind of comes up in the episode as well. So from there, we jump away from the planet, but we'll stop there and kind of give our thoughts about that area. What'd you think about this whole sequence? I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, it is, and they're not sparing any expense on CGI.
Expense.
It looks so good.
It looks fantastic.
That ship hovering over the city. It's great.
Yeah, that Corsair is awesome looking. That zebra stripe pattern on it. That really Corsair is amazing.
Now the captain's design. That's freaking straight out of Swamp Thing. Even the nose is the same.
Yeah, this guy's going to be playing Swamp Thing.
Oh yeah. And who's the voice for him? It sounds very familiar.
I have not picked up on who that is.
I don't know either. But Yeah, it was really cool. Good opening.
Yeah, yeah, and that's the cold open because we don't get the titles before then, and then of course you get the title. Title pops up after the nice little like CG thing, and then we jump to another planet and we see a Y-wing flying in, which is nice to see a Y-wing. We haven't seen many of those since the original trilogy, really.
I love seeing the old ships.
Yeah, we got a Y-wing. There's some X-wings in the shot, and of course we get Republic pilots or Rebel pilots as they were called in the original trilogy, essentially. And we go to a bar. There's a bunch of Republic pilots drinking and talking. And we got a guy in an Indiana Jones fedora over there.
Dave Filoni in the Indiana Jones outfit.
Yeah. And we meet Carson Teva, of course. He's sitting at the bar, and the bartender comes over and says a message came from him. She hands him a message card, and he has to use her viewer to see it. He puts it in. Of course, it's the message from Grief Karga saying that Navarro's in trouble. You had once said to contact you if we needed help, and that's what I'm doing, essentially. And then we get a beautiful cameo that not many people... I mean, some people are going to be familiar with who this person is. Some people aren't. If you watch Rebels, you're going to know that this is Zeb.
Oh, man.
Yeah. Which is an awesome cameo. And like you said, that's the original design for Chewbacca.
Chewie,
That's what he was going to look like until they changed him to the Wookiee design, of course. But Zeb comes over, talks to, Carson Teva, because Carson's like, hey, we got to, I'm going to make a requisition and try to get them help. And Zeb's like, well, they're backed up for months, And Teva says, well, I'm just going to go there.
Yeah.
And Zeb, in typical Zeb fashion, is like, good luck,
I love how they brought back the same voice actor from the show.
Yeah, Steve Blum.
And, I mean, the Zeb looks amazing.
Oh, God, it's amazing. It's all CG, I assume.
Yeah.
But it's
I would
perfect.
think so, yeah.
Perfect. He's big, like he's supposed to be. Yeah. He's this right color. He looks like they took him out of Rebels, like polished him up a bit for live action, and put him right here on the show. He's exact. He's perfect. And, of course, he's working for the Republic now.
Yeah.
I mean, we kind of got that at the end of Rebels, showing that the Ghost crew all went to work for the Republic.
Right, and they kind of went their own direction.
Yeah, they all kind of went their own directions working for the Republic. The Ghost pilot, she was, they say she even fought in the Battle of the Death Star and everything on that.
They showed the Ghost.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of her name.
Yeah, and they showed it in Rise.
Yeah. Yeah, so, the Ghost was there. So we've seen a little bit of Rebels before in live action. So that's it. That's all we get.
Oh my God, I just love that cameo.
Yeah, and I got spoiled on it before I watched the episode, unfortunately. But I was like, I don't care. It's awesome.
Yeah, I watched it before you, and I wanted to say something.
Yeah,
so bad,
I was like,
I'm not gonna ruin.
He held back.
Yeah. I don't like to spoil anything, although we're spoiling. Well, we're not really spoiling now.
Well, it's almost a week after this episode.
We're almost into the next episode.
Yeah, we're close to the next episode. But, we got to record when we can. We both have jobs and kids and everything else.
Yeah, life gets in the way.
We record when we can. It's Sunday night. It's recording night, usually.
Sunday biz.
That's right. So,
excuse me.
After that scene, Carson leaves, goes to Coruscant. We get a little view of Coruscant. You were saying how it looks a lot like Coruscant in the Old Republic. Yeah, and it definitely does. It has that feel.
And they're starting to incorporate. I'm noticing some of the droids from the Old Republic that are walking around the streets.
Yeah.
In the game. They're throwing them in. I think one was in Grief Karga's office or whatever. That one droid.
Yeah.
Is very reminiscent of the ones that are in that shop.
Oh yeah,
that you go to.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
So you're right. I think you're right.
I hope they go that direction eventually.
So Teva goes into a large building to talk to an officer and walks in, and he gets who I like to call Colonel Leon Phelps, the ladies' man.
Yeah, that's
Tim Meadows.
That's cool. That's very cool.
Playing Colonel Trotter, unfortunately, they didn't have balls enough to call him Colonel Phelps, unfortunately. But it's Tim Meadows. Everybody recognizes Tim Meadows, and of course, another one of my I see that. Another one of my favorite roles of Tim Meadows is from Walk Hard. Remember that?
Yeah.
You don't want no part of this shit, Dewey Cox.
Nice.
What is it? It's cocaine.
It's basically, yeah.
It makes you feel real good, but you don't want no part of this.
Nice.
I love that. Yeah. But, of course, I was doing the ladies' man voice here, and you were, too.
Oh, yeah.
That's
what you associate him with.
And then, of course, Elia Kane, we see her and she walks in the office, and I still can't figure out what she's up to. Like, because she seems to be like, don't help these guys. So it's like, and later in the episode, we figure out some information that may be relevant to her and this, how she's acting, whether it is or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't.
I mean, she's a double agent.
Yeah, it seems like it.
She's still in cahoots with Gideon.
Like, she just completely shuts down Tiva in this office. Like, I think if she wouldn't have walked in, there's a chance that Colonel Trotter may have given him a few ships to go help. Mm-hmm. But when she walks in, he's like, she throws out all this information and is like, I don't think we should. They didn't sign the charter. And he's like, right. Oh, well, that's not good.
Yeah.
So, he doesn't give him permission. He says, I'll put it on the list and maybe we can help.
They're pirates and, they're outside of our reach, really.
Yeah.
Really.
And Tiva tries to play it up. It's like, hey, this planet, Moff Gideon was over this planet, and now there's pirates. What's going on this planet? Is this planet's important somehow?
He's like, this goes beyond. Yeah, it's like there's something else brewing out there.
For sure.
So.
But in any case, he's not going to get the help. Elia Kane, she looks pretty happy about that. So I think she's got some ulterior motives in a lot of this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, she's that double agent.
Yeah, she seems like she is. Maybe it's going to come out where she's not, but you never know. I mean, she's a likable actress. I mean, she's likable. She is beefy as heck, man. She is a built woman.
You said she would be a good casting for
Abby in Last of Us, which you don't know what that means.
Which I don't know.
She's a beefy one in Last of Us.
I've seen pictures.
Yeah, she would be fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm going to give you that one for free, Last of Us.
You heard it here first.
Or call me HBO. Call me. Call me Craig Mazin.
Yeah, we'll do your casting.
Check out our coverage of Last of Us on youtube.com/@movieroom.
Absolutely. Yeah. It's very in-depth, thought-provoking, and not really.
Slightly inebriated.
Yeah.
Enjoy
making fun of us.
Back to Mando. So Tiva has to leave. He's not going to get any help there. We jump shortly back to Navarro, where Grief Cargo and his 35 people who live in Navarro have gone out to the lava flats and are sitting there just kind of waiting on help. They're outside of the city, letting the pirates essentially take the city at this point. Much to Grief Cargo's chagrin, he doesn't want that to happen, but he doesn't have the people to fight, which is weird. He doesn't have any fighters on this planet. I take a little...
They all got blasters, though.
They do, but there's nobody to protect this planet. It's very weird. You would think you would have some kind of crew to protect the planet that could help here, but I guess the Corsair kind of is a tough foe.
I think he'd have some kind of security, team.
Something. It's kind of crazy, but I mean, he's just out there with the 35 residents of Navarro, But I mean, ultimately, it's a joke because it looks like there's nobody in Navarro, but some of the people stayed behind or couldn't get out. So, it's still not a lot of people though. So, the next scene we go back to Carson Tiva. He's flying in to where the Mandalorians are into their covert.
Oh, I just gotta say one thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm glad you can remember all these names. I can't remember,
I read his name.
Anybody's names.
That's the only reason.
I can't remember names.
The only reason I know Carson Tiva is because I read about it earlier.
The New Republic guy.
New Republic fat Asian guy.
Yeah, he goes to this, he's a good guy.
Yeah. So...
yeah.
And then he goes in there, he lands, he sees Bo Katan's ship, he lands in front of the covert and comes out and he's like, hey, I'm not here to hurt anybody, I'm here, I want to talk to you about something. And he says, and they're like, how did you find us? They were like, how did you find us? And he's like, well, I have a former Republic, officer or something working here. And it ends up it's R5, the droid that Peli sold Mando, and he's like, thanks R5. And I think everybody thought it was Bo Katan. I told you that while we were watching it again, that everybody thought, hey, Bo Katan sold us out, what's up with this?
Good lord.
But no, it wasn't Bo.
Non-helmet wearing.
But 100%, even Mando I think thought it ultimately, that it was Bo Katan. But anyway, Carson Tiva decides to tell him that, hey, Navarro's in trouble. He's really talking to Mando. He's not talking to all of them. But he's like, you guys can help Navarro. And, Grief Karga, and he gives him the thing that Grief Karga sent. And he says, I'm not here to mess with your covert. And they're like, now we have to move, And he's like, I'm sorry, but they need help, and there's nowhere else to go. You're basically the only ones I know that could possibly help.
He kind of looks like a Mr. Miyagi, doesn't he?
Yeah.
A younger.
Except I think he's Korean.
Yeah. Sorry.
I could be wrong about that, though.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I like the guy. I think the guy's a great actor.
Yeah, he's doing
really
good.
Yeah, he's really good, and he's a recurring role in the show at this point. He's been in every season to this point. So he tells them, "Hey, I'm just bringing this information. They need help. I think you guys can help. I will not tell where your covert is. I know you're probably going to move anyway, though." Right. So he leaves, and Mando takes a look at he takes a look at the thing, and they have a meeting. And we haven't got to that part on the screen yet, but here it is. They have a meeting in the cave that they live around with a big fire, and Mando's got the armorer's hammer, so I guess that's how they know who can talk.
You have the floor. Yeah.
You have the floor, essentially, like passing the peace pipe or whatever, And Mando explains, like, hey, I know, a lot of you were on Navarro, and Grief Karga was not your friend on Navarro, but, he changed, he helped me later, and I think, we need to help him because, he's promised me a tract of land. We can live in the light again if we go there. We can live on that land and be, let our children play out in the sun, basically, and not be underground all the time. And so he gives this big impassioned speech. And then Paz Vizsla stands up and he hands him the hammer.
Yeah, because nobody's really buying what he's picking up, or not picking up what he's dropping, but they're not buying what he's selling.
Yeah, I mean, they're like, he's back part of them, but they still have trust issues with him, I think, because of what he's done to this point. So Paz Vizsla stands up and he hands him the hammer to talk. Grogu's not in this episode very much. That's the only shot of Grogu.
He's just in the back.
One tiny shot right there that they just showed, which is good because I get tired of all Grogu all the time sometimes. To be honest with you, I mean, I understand the character's a moneymaker. But we need episodes like this where it's more action oriented and less Grogu oriented. So Paz takes the hammer and starts giving this impassioned speech about, like, hey, we had to abandon Navarro and, they weren't our friends and all this. But he's like, our children deserve to live out of hiding and things like that. So his speech kind of goes from, like, Mando's kind of feeling like he's going to go against him. And all of a sudden he's like, Mando saved my child, and I think we should do this, essentially.
I owe a debt to this guy.
Yeah. And Paz is and
we all do, actually.
He's hugely respected in this covert. He's like second in command, essentially. There's the armor and then Paz.
And he's massive.
He is.
And he's got a big gun.
Nobody's messing with Paz Vizsla.
No.
Nobody. Except Mando.
Yeah.
Yeah. He did. He beat him. But yeah, he gives this speech, and you think all the way up until the very end that he's going to be against it, but no, he's for it. He says, we need to do this. These people need help. I think we can help them. I think it will give us a better life and our children a better life, and that Mando saved my son, and, we should do this for him. And Bo Katan's sitting there kind of surprised too, I think. Again, I'll say how much they come, like, body language works through these people. I don't even know if it's them in the armor. Like, if I don't know if
who knows?
Yeah,
but just the way they tilt their heads. I mean, it's like you can tell what they're thinking.
Yeah,
it's great. It's great acting.
It is. And at the end, he drops the "This is the way." Everybody says "This is the way," and then the armor follows up. "This is the way." So it's on. At that point. They're going, and so. Everybody's in. They're going to go help Navarro. The next scene, short scene after this, Bo Katan's telling people, like, this is a drop ship. You can get on it. We'll load everybody up. Everybody will go. Well, this is the plan. All that stuff. Everybody's ready to go. And that's it. That's it for those couple short scenes. I really like these scenes. I think they're kind of like great, like Mandalorian society building type scenes. Very excellent. Shows that Paz Vizsla is more than just a big guy. He's a leader, really, with this. So they're on the ship. Yeah, do you have anything to say about this?
Oh, no. Yeah.
So they get on the ship and in hyperspace they're having more conversations about everything. Like, oh, this is the Corsair. These are the ships they're gonna have. There's like 8 ships that they're gonna fight with. You know, you guys will be on the ground, and me and the N1 will be in the sky. You know, taking on the ships and all that stuff.
These are the weak points. Yeah, this is what we're gonna encounter. So
yeah, just kind of some cool like standard military stuff.
Yeah, planning.
Yeah. So anything else to say before we get into the Battle of Navarro here?
No, I mean, let's just get into it. Get in the nitty gritty here.
Yeah. Navarro looking rough again. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we get the view of Navarro. It's kind of, there's a lot of scoring on everything from the fire. The people are kind of being hassled by the pirates and all that stuff. And even the salacious crumb monkeys are being hassled by the pirates.
Yeah, being shot at
and
again.
I think this is the school.
Where they got shot at. Where used to be the bar.
Yeah, that used to be a bar. I think that's the school they're in because they're back to making it a bar, essentially. Because that's what they wanted to do in that earlier episode.
Yeah, the guy got his drink.
He got his drink. He did this time. Yeah. Not the one from earlier because he's dead.
Yeah, no.
But they're back in there. The school's a bar again. And then they see the pirates on the ground see Mando's N1 starfighter come in. And, of course, Corian Shand, whatever his name is, sees it come in, and it fires on the Corsair, and, of course, they go into attack mode. And then Mando's kind of running interference at this point to get all the ships and all the guns out, essentially, to get them all battle ready to follow him so Bo Katan can come in safely and drop ship all the other Mandalorians, essentially. So it works. All the pirate ships, the Corsair goes after him, and all the eight or so ships that are on there come after him, including Vane, the one pirate we saw earlier, who was the one in the fight with Mando.
Yeah,
on that survived.
Only one that he left alive, or they left alive.
And Grief Karga, of course, sees Mando and calls him and thanks him for coming. And got Grogu again sitting in Mando's lap in the N1, which is great. All right, so then in comes Bo Katan after Mando takes out a few of those ships, and she comes in and does like a run and drops the Mandalorians, and they go to action.
Getting some great ship
fights
in
lots
this
of
season.
Dog fighting.
I mean, it looks so good, and you're on edge the whole time. I mean, obviously, you're not going to die or the show's going to end.
Yeah, but they got plot armor. Plot armor.
But how cool is it with the Mandalorians dropping out of the ship?
Oh, the drop troopers.
It's so cool, man.
It's like drop troopers, man.
I got kind of Edge of Tomorrow vibes.
Yeah.
We also reviewed
on your feet.
Yeah, on your feet.
It is. It's like that because that's how they drop.
They drop straight down.
Yeah, those guys just drop in their suits though and land in those suits. These guys have the rocket
they got no
packs,
rocket packs.
So the Mandalorians drop into the streets. They start taking out the pirates slowly but surely, and they are really taking. I mean, I'm talking executions and things.
They're special forces basically.
They don't play around.
Yeah.
They don't play around. I mean, you see a couple times they like take a guy down from the back and then shoot him on the ground to take him out completely. So they're not leaving prisoners. No. They're taking them out. They are killing them. And then we continue getting the air battle as well, and of course Bo Katan joins the air battle to fire on the Corsair and take out some of the guys. There's another ship. I didn't mention this when we were watching, but they're actually dressed like 18th century pirates.
Yeah, oh yeah.
It's like they're wearing like
exactly
the
he's got the long coat.
And the guy's wearing a sweater and a bandana on his head. It's like they're actually dressed like pirates, which is silly, but it's fun.
It works.
It's fun.
It
works.
It works.
We have another little trench run here.
Yeah, we get a short little trench run.
Trench run with veins on Mando's tail.
Star Wars and their trench runs.
They love the trenches. It's like every dogfight has to go into a trench for sure.
But yeah, I mean, this episode with the Mandalorians just being badass all the time.
Yeah, that's what you want to see.
That's what you watch the show for.
See, this contrast with Boba Fett. It's like the Boba Fett show. It was like Boba Fett being a sad sack half the time in that show.
Right.
We wanted Boba Fett to go out and start killing people and taking people out. But no, he's doing political planning and recruiting people who ride flamboyant scooters to his side. It
didn't work.
Boba Fett's real bad.
Yeah.
It's real bad. And if you didn't watch it and you're watching this show, some things are going to be very confusing in this show, and that's a shame that they did that. It's like, I feel like they should have just gone back, deleted Boba Fett, and added those 2 episodes with Mando into the first of this season just to get everybody back.
And, they're using this as a launching point for a lot of other shows that are going to be coming out. We already got Ahsoka. Yeah. We have Boba Fett.
They were going to do that Rangers of the Republic show, but that kind of got killed when Gina Carano said stupid stuff and got fired, so that got canceled. Yeah. But yeah, we get the Mandalorian. We get some more Mandalorian fighting, and we get them pinned down at some point, and they can't get out. And here comes Paz Vizsla down there with his big boy gun.
Oh god.
Just strafing. Yeah. Like this is Jesse Ventura in Predator. Taking out the trees and everything.
They got time to bleed.
Yeah. So.
And of course they bring back that big gun from Jabba's palace.
Yep. What do they call it? They call that. There's a name for that gun. It's in a few different episodes. So they get pinned down by that big gun in Grief Karga's office. That's where they're at. Yeah. They're pinned down. They can't get out. They're not going to be able to take it out. They don't know what they're going to do. And we go back to the sky for a little more dogfighting because you got to jump around the action. You can't just focus on one in this scene. This makes it extremely hard to talk about. To be honest,
that's typical Star Wars. You got a ground battle. You got aerial.
Yeah, Phantom Menace did the same thing.
Yeah. So that's typical. Yeah, that's right. I don't know if we got any spinning in this, did we?
Oh, he's spinning right now. And then one's all over the spin.
He's spinning right there.
Everywhere. Okay. The one's a spinner.
I take that back.
He's actually watching Phantom Menace while he's doing it. Spinning is a good trick.
He's got it on one of the screens.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Spinning is a good trick.
Good job, Andy.
So we jump back down to the planet and the big gun that's pinning down all the Mandalorians, and here comes the armor. We didn't even know she was there, really. Yeah. I mean, you didn't see her drop ship in or anything. And she doesn't wear a jetpack either, I don't think. So how did she? No, she's not wearing one. So she got on the ground some way else. Either that or another Mandalorian helped carry her to the ground or something like that. But she comes in Grief Karga's office behind him. That's a good point.
She doesn't have a jetpack.
How did she get down there? I don't know. Like even Paz has a jetpack on top of his gigantic gun. Yeah. So she comes in with her hammers. She doesn't use guns. She comes in with her hammers and just brutalizes like 6 guys in that office and takes out that gun and gives the rest of Mandalorians the ability to run the rest of the pirates out of town, at which point Grief Karga and all his people come in and pin them down between them and the Mandalorians, and the battle for the city at least is won. We still have the sky battle going on.
And it ends at the entrance where they came in season 1 and saved Mando.
Yep, same
right
entrance.
There, same place.
City entrance.
Yep. This time they're saving Grief.
Yeah. So we go back to Gorian Shard's ship, and Vane essentially is the only ship left, and he runs off. He's a coward. It's just what he does.
He's like what's his name in Tombstone? Darn it.
Which one?
Stephen
Lang's character?
Yeah. He's always getting away. He's the weasel, but he keeps getting away.
Yeah,
he's just like that character.
Yeah. So Gorian the Pirate King decides that he's not going to give up. He's only got one engine left at this point, and he goes to start shooting and trying to kill all the civilians of Navarro, because I guess that's what pirates do. And Mando and Bo Katan come in and take out his last engine and crash the Corsair in an amazing sequence. And sound, you talk about the sound design. Yes,
that's from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, and I told you, I said, when you got
Vader's
Ben Burt,
ship is going down.
When you got all that sound from sound engineer Ben Burt, you use it.
They pretty much took it straight from Return.
Straight from there, for sure. Yeah. And so they shoot it down. Of course, we get the typical Star Wars cheer, And
yep.
Mando and the Mandalorians have won the fight. I don't know if they lost a single guy. They may have lost one guy, possibly. There was one guy that got shot by that
big gun.
May have not made it.
One guy fell off a roof.
That's true.
He got knocked off, but one or 2 guys. He probably survived.
They may have not lost anybody.
Yeah.
So, that's the end of the fight. Yeah. It was awesome.
Oh, man.
I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Getting some really good dog fights.
Oh, yeah. And fantastic.
This season's been great on that.
Yeah, it's great. It's a terrific fight. So after that, we go back to Grief Karga, and he's, thanking the Mandalorians for saving them, when nobody else would, essentially. And essentially, we get a nice tribute. He says that the Mandalorians will, he offered property to Mando, and the Mandalorians can have that property from the Western Plains to Bullock Canyon. Bullock is the last name of the guy who originally played Boba Fett. I can't remember his first name. I want to say Seth Bullock, but that's Timothy Oliphant's character in Deadwood, so it's not Seth Bullock. But Bullock Canyon is definitely a tribute to the guy who played Boba Fett. He died a couple years ago. He was an older guy even when he played Boba Fett. So, but that was a nice little tribute. And the Mandalorians, are accepting of that.
Everybody looked older back then. He was probably 30.
He was 26. Yeah. Gray hair, but he's 26.
Yeah.
So the Mandalorians, of course, are accepting of that. Some of them put their hand over their heart and a fist, to thank him, and they're going to live in the light. They're gonna make their home on Navarro now. And there was a nice line from Grief Karga. He's like, I know you lost your home on Mandalore, but at least you will, be able to make a home here now, or something like that. It was a nice line. I can't remember the exact line. And
you lost your world, but at least you have a home.
At least you have a home here, or something like that. Yeah, and then Paz goes over to Bo Katan and says, the armor wants to see you. And it's like, what'd I do?
Getting called to the principal's office after we won?
So we get to go back down in the sewers and see their previous covert where the armor was first introduced in Navarro. And she talks about the forge, and Bo Katan's like, yes, I saw the original forge on Mandalore. And she's like, it was so much bigger. There were hundreds of, people working on armor. It said, but still, the spirit, she's kind of like the spirit of Mandalore is in this forge, essentially. And she talks to Bo Katan, and she says, take off your helmet. And Bo's like, what? And she's like, do you trust my judgment? And Bo Katan's like, yes.
Now take off the rest of your armor.
I think I downloaded the wrong Mandalorian episode. So Bo takes off her helmet, and she says, I think you're basically the key to uniting all the Mandalorian tribes. You have walked both worlds. You have walked with us and respected our ways, but you also have walked with those who are not of our way. Yeah. And you're going to be able to help us unite everybody to take back Mandalore. Yep. Essentially.
I mean, they're building towards, Bo Katan and Mando. Yeah. They're pushing that. They're gonna get together. Even during that the fire, the campfire scene.
They're kind of leaning up against each other.
They're real snugly, and everybody else has their spacing. So
I don't have a problem with this ship.
I mean, they're gonna be king, queen, I guess.
I'm shipping them.
I like it.
I'm shipping the armor. They got the relationship too as a third.
They got the dark saber. They got the confidence of
and the mythosaur maybe
and the mythosaur. I mean, all this is building towards they're gonna rule together.
They're definitely going to be part of this.
You heard it here first.
And probably in like
600
600
at the computer when we have a camera.
We have a camera. It's over there. Hi.
Hello, camera.
Yeah. So after this, Bo and the armorer leave the underground, and Bo walks out and is walking through all the children of the Watch who don't take their helmet off, and they're all kind of looking at her like, what the hell is going on here? What is she doing? I thought she was with us. And essentially, Paz Vizsla is there, and he's not fond of the idea of taking her helmet off, obviously. And the armorer speaks up and goes, Bo Katan walks both worlds. She can help us reunite everybody to take Mandalore. Mm-hmm. So kind of everybody, she's like their leader. Everybody's going to take what she says. So if she's okay with the helmet being off, everybody's okay. Yeah. Even Paz. So and you see Paz stand up right there. He's like, what is going on? I'm not fond of this. So that's kind of where it ends, with the armorer essentially saying Bo Katan's going to go out and try to bring everybody back together to take back Mandalore.
You weren't in the forge that long.
But yeah, so it's okay for Bo to take her helmet off. I mean, I think it's probably okay for anybody at this point to take their helmet off, because all they got to do is go to Mandalore and just jump in the water and they're good to go.
Yeah, and they're going to eventually. Yeah,
I think
we're going to see some faces.
I think she's going to.
They're probably all like raggedy,
very pale.
Yeah, very pale. Yeah.
Mando's got some facial hair, so how does it maintain that? I guess when you're alone, you can take your helmet off to bathe and things like that.
I think they got something in in their helmet.
Just lasers, little lightsabers lasering their sideburns off. Yeah. So, yeah, we're getting the importance of Bo Katan, which also, we got that importance in Rebels, too. She's always been and I assume in Clone Wars, she's always been a very important character.
She was huge in Clone Wars.
Yeah. So that's the end of that. Oh, yeah, we have this one more sequence where Carson Teva is back at the very end. He finds a derelict ship out, and it's a Lambda class. It's like, the Emperor's ship in Empire, or just regular Star Wars, too. But he finds this ship, and it's been attacked. And it says it's like, he calls it in, and they're like, well, it says it's classified. The ship is classified.
Yeah.
And he has them check the transponder. It's a prison ship. It was the ship that left with Moff Gideon. Right. So Gideon's ship was attacked. He sends a droid in, like a little probe, to go in and check things. Only people on the ship are the crew that are dead. And he scans it and finds a piece of Beskar lodged in the hull. So it seems like Mandalorians, got Moff Gideon out.
Yep.
Or they're being set up that way. We don't know.
Watch Rebels.
We saw theories.
Yeah.
We saw theories. I'm not going to mention theories on this. I'm going to leave those out.
If you watch Rebels, you kind of understand.
Yeah.
There's
6.
There's factions out there.
SECTS.
Yeah. Clearly, Bo Katan faction was different from
Clan Kryze.
Yeah, they had different.
Children of the Watch, the Death Watch.
Yeah, there's a few different.
Clan Saxon.
Probably 6 or 7 different ones.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah.
Most of them work together, but there were a few that didn't work with all the rest of Mandalore in the Republic.
But does the Republic know that? Are they going to go back and be like, you guys did this?
That's the thing.
Yeah.
Tiva's going to know he can't give this information up, right? He's going to have to hide this information and go to it himself.
He called it in.
He called it in to his people, though.
Yeah.
It's only his people. It's only Delphi Squadron that knows this at this point. So, assumingly they might
ladies man don't
release that information off to somebody else as well. But I'd hope what we see is Teva going back to Mando and saying, hey, I found Moff Gideon's ship. He wasn't there, and there was Beskar lodged into it. What the hell, man?
Yeah. What's going on here?
Yeah.
Yep.
Of course, the Mandalorians also hate Moff Gideon, so it could have been a revenge group of Mandalorians going after him too,
but they didn't.
Remains to be seen.
They didn't find his body. So
no body.
Yeah.
No
so
body.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot that I hope happens with this going forward. I'm sure there's a lot.
We got 3 episodes left. Is it 8 episode season?
Yeah, it's normally 8.
Yeah, so we only got 3 episodes left at this point. So we got a lot to get to.
Yeah.
I assume we're probably gonna. I bet the last episode we're gonna end up with a bunch of Mandalorians together going to Mandalore, and that's gonna be the end.
It's gonna be a huge cliffhanger.
Yeah, it's gotta be.
We're not gonna get all the answers,
and then they'll just cancel the show.
Yeah. Because people hate it right now.
People hate this show.
Yeah.
Except me.
It's amazing.
I love it.
Oh yeah, I love it too. I look forward to every Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sit down with my son.
I usually watch on Thursday morning.
Yeah. Sit down with my son, watch it. He loves it. So, and me and him watched Rebels when I think he was about 4 years old.
Yeah.
And we started watching Rebels, and he loved Rebels. So we go back and watch that every once in a while.
You should all watch Rebels.
Check out Rebels. There's heavy influence in this, of course. Filoni's involved, which it's
Filoni's baby.
Yeah, Rebels is Filoni's baby. There's more Rebels than there is Clone Wars.
Yeah.
So, but it all connects.
And we got Zeb. Zeb this episode.
Look great. I hope we get more.
I 100% think we're going to get Sabine Wren before this season is over.
Probably next episode.
I hope so.
So, because
they have a relationship.
Bo Katan has to go.
Yeah, Bo has a relationship with Sabine Wren.
She's got to go find more Mandalorians that are on, and who best to suit that than Sabine?
Absolutely.
Unless she didn't make it out of Rebels. You have to go watch it. I don't know.
Watch Rebels.
So, I love how we got the ship at the end, though. Just destroyed, just floating in space.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That was pretty cool.
Awesome little thing.
Yeah.
All right. So that's it for The Mandalorian, Season 3, Episode 5, The Pirate.
Yeah.
Very cool episode. Lots of action. Lots of good stuff. I mean, if you were complaining there wasn't enough action in this show, you got it this episode for sure. It was an action-packed episode.
Yep. yeah, they started off, one episode, kind of slow action, action. Yeah. So we've gotten a lot here lately.
Yeah, they did.
So,
all right,
a lot of world building this episode or this season.
Yeah.
Into other offshoots. So.
All right. So if you'd like to, you can follow us on YouTube, youtube.com/@basementmovieroom. Follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/basementmovieroom. You can also find us on Twitter @movie_basement, although I rarely post there, or at facebook.com/basementmovieroom, maybe. I can't remember the website, but you can find us there. Yeah. We post stuff there.
Yeah.
We're on Instagram. We're on...
look us up. I mean...
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, there's a TikTok out there that I made for this, but I never post anything. So, yeah. So definitely follow us. Check us out. And, we got a Patreon, but I haven't updated it forever. So if you want to give $1 there, you can.
Please.
Don't have to, though.
Just give us $1.
It's not going to buy us much.